The Duchess of Sussex has told listeners to be yourself no matter what any societal framework tells you as she recorded her first Archetypes podcast since the Queen's death. Meghan had paused the release of her Spotify podcast for the duration of the mourning period for the monarch following her death at Balmoral last month. But in a new episode released today exploring the Dragon Lady stereotype with journalist Lisa Ling and comedian Margaret Cho, the Duchess told listeners to disregard the loud voice coming from a small place. The remarks left listeners wondering if the Duchess was taking a veiled swipe at the royal family as she discussed how people should define themselves. Meghan urged listeners to be their best and true self, adding, "You want to be weird or be sponge-like, be silly or fierce, be curious, or even self-doubting or unsure some days and strong and brave on others," she said at the end of the episode. "Whatever it is, that's up to you. Just be yourself no matter what any societal framework or archetype or loud voice coming from a small place tells you that you should be. Be yourself. Your full complete whole layered, sometimes weird, sometimes awesome, but always best and true self. Just be you. You're so much greater than any archetype." It comes after earlier Meghan has previously spoken negatively of life in the royal family after marrying Prince Harry. In August, the Duchess said she and Harry were happy to leave Britain and were upsetting the dynamic of the hierarchy. Just by existing before they quit as senior royals. Meghan began today's podcast by talking about her experience of growing up in Los Angeles, which was full of culture that you could see, feel, hear and taste on a daily basis, and said she had a real love of getting to know other cultures. She said she was not aware of the stigmas faced by women of Asian descent until many years later. Brief clips from Austin Powers and Kill Bill were played to illustrate Meghan's point. The Kill Bill character Onishi is heard removing the head of Japanese crime boss Tanaka with a samurai sword, before stating, "The price you pay for either bringing up either my Chinese or American heritage as a negative is, I collect your F-head." Meanwhile, Austin Powers is heard being asked by Fook Mi for his autograph. When she told him her name, he replies, "Oh behave baby." Movies like Austin Powers and Kill Bill presented these characters of Asian women as oftentimes over-sexualized or aggressive, Meghan says. And it's not just those two examples, there's so many more. Expanding on the concept later in the podcast, the Duchess told Cho, the Dragon Lady, the East Asian temptress whose mysterious foreign allure is scripted as both tantalizing and deadly, she told Cho. "This has seeped into a lot of our entertainment. But this toxic stereotyping of women of Asian descent, it doesn't just end once the credits roll." In the introduction to today's episode, Meghan spoke of going to a Korean spa with her mother as a teenager, adding, "It's a very humbling experience for a girl going through puberty because you enter a room with women from ages 9 to maybe 90, all walking around naked and waiting to get a body scrub on one of these tables that are all lined up in a row. All I wanted was a bathing suit. Once I was over that adolescent embarrassment, my mom and we would go upstairs, we would sit in a room and we would have a steaming bowl of the most delicious noodles." Meghan Markle has received plenty of criticism in the Australian media following the release of her truth bomb-filled interview with the cut and controversial Archetypes podcast.